Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Stock Investing and Trading 101. Today we're going to be talking about if it's time to buy the dip in the market, and we're just going to look at some technicals, some charts, and just talk about where I think things are going to be going in the markets. So today, September 28th, we're about halfway through the trading day, and it's been extremely volatile. We have the S&P 500s down nearly 2%, pretty much just kind of a straight downward move. It was a little more volatile in the morning, and they're kind of starting to bounce at this point. We have the Nasdaq's down about 2.5% as well. Similar chart, and it's kind of becoming a short-term trend here. We had, an increase in volatility the last couple of days, and there was a couple of longer periods of decline during the past month. So we also have the VIX. The VIX is up today to about 22 and change. So the VIX has kind of been continued to be relatively elevated. We had it pop to nearly 29 last week, and it's kind of popping up today to about 24 around the highs. But let's talk about what I think is going to happen and look at some of the technical indicators. So I'm looking at the 1 year, the daily chart of the S&P 500. Each candle represents 1 day, and as you guys can see, we have the highs of around 417 a couple of weeks back. This is the volatility I've been talking about. We've kind of had a decline, we had a little pop up, and here we are after another decline, and today was a specifically volatile day during the decline here. We have the candle here. Today's candle is it bounced off the bottom Bollinger Band, and everyone who follows my trades and knows what indicators and technicals I really respect and like to use, the Bollinger Bands are a big one for me, and whenever a stock breaks above or below these Bollinger Bands, it tends to snap back into the range pretty quickly. You'll see it snapped up this day, and within the next day it was already back within the range. Same thing here, it was severely below this day, which would have been an indicator that it was oversold to me, and it snapped back up very quickly, and now here we are back at the Bollinger Band, touching the band. So this could be a possible support indicator, but it could definitely break below, but in my opinion, it's a good opportunity to start thinking about buying the dip. I wouldn't go all in. I always like to have some dry powder, some cash available on the sidelines, and that's what I'm doing with my portfolio. So this is one of my smaller portfolios. My Robinhood is my bigger portfolio, but I pretty much created a little diversified portfolio of good stocks. I'm looking at stocks. I have AbbVie. I'm looking at a lot of dividend-paying stocks, Kimberly-Clark, Coca-Cola. These charts are a little more interesting in my opinion. So here we have Coca-Cola. I'll remove some of these drawings, and this is a daily chart once again. So this is a longer term trend. It's way below the bottom Bollinger Band. The RSI is at 23, which is definitely an oversold indicator. We have the MACD, which is still showing bearish momentum, but I think this is due to reverse very soon, and this is also a lagging indicator, so you won't see a good indicator on the MACD until after, because it's a lagging indicator. So the RSI is showing us it's oversold. The Bollinger Bands, it's below the bottom Bollinger Band, and like I just said, when it breaks below the bottom Bollinger Band, it tends to snap up very quickly, or it snap back into the range, and I'd be willing to bet that within the next couple of days Coke will go back into this range, and it might only go back up to like 53 or just somewhere in that range, but I think it's very oversold, and so that's something that I'm buying. Kimberly-Clark, not as oversold, not great, but it's a very defensive name. Pepsi, also a defensive name with a great dividend. I think it has a little bit more growth potential than Coca-Cola, and it's at 31, so it's not at 30, which is what we like to look for to show oversold, but it's still very close, below the bottom Bollinger Band. Momentum is still weak, but these are the type of situations that I like to look for. I have a shopping list of stocks that are great companies that are worth investing in for the long term. I wait for opportunities. I look at my charts. So Pepsi is one of the stocks on my charts or my shopping list. And today we get a day like this where it has a big move in the down direction. And I think it's something to look at for a buying opportunity. So that's pretty much where I think we're at in the markets. I think, we could have more volatility to come. I don't necessarily think that this point here is the low that we're going to have. I think the market could have a more significant correction, but I don't think, I think it's going to be, I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but I guess we'll just see what happens. Right now, I'm definitely using my portfolio to buy some stocks. I have a good amount of cash as a position, just in case we do go lower, that I can continue to lower my cost basis and pick up different stocks when different opportunities present themselves. And so we'll see what happens, guys. So I just wanted to give you guys an update and show you guys some technicals, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.